You're in HR and your manager is interviewing someone who looks like they're in their 50s or 60s. The manager asks, what year did you graduate high school? Or when do you plan to retire? Or are you comfortable working with younger supervisors? Or even, how old are you? Some people think they're slick. They're not. You guys know this at this point. You don't need a labor lawyer to tell you that you should not be discriminating against people because of their age. At law, people who are over the age of 40 are protected from discrimination all throughout the country. And so when you start asking questions about like, what year did you graduate high school, because all of a sudden you're good at math and now you want to do like some backwards calculations and think, okay, if they graduated in 2000, that makes them X years old today and they're X years away from retirement. So here's the thing. People who are older have a ton of experience in the workforce. It's just a natural function of their time. But at some point, some people start thinking that age becomes a liability rather than an asset. And they start thinking, this person's too old, or even worse, we only have a young people workforce and that just wouldn't be a culture fit and all that sort of stuff. Some people try to do it even responsibly and they start asking, well, okay, if I'm gonna hire somebody who's a little bit older and they might be thinking of retirement soon, well, I'm here trying to have a long-term hire. And so I want to hire somebody who's actually going to be in this role for, X number of years and isn't just going to turn around and retire tomorrow, all that sort of stuff. One, you're violating the law, but two, you're doing yourself a disservice. There's a lot of value and insight to be gained from an employee with that level of experience. And you also shouldn't make the assumption that just because somebody is approaching retirement age, that they want to retire. There are a lot of people who have no interest in retiring. Maybe they want to slow down, maybe they want to do something different, but a lot of people, just because they hit the age of 65 doesn't mean that they actually want to retire. And monetary reason why this matters even more is that if you are going to discriminate against somebody who is close to retirement age, you're not just going to end up paying their back pay for the discrimination claim that you're going to lose. You're going to end up paying often what's called front pay too, which is the money that they would have earned if they had kept working and you hadn't taken them out the workforce. The problem why in age discrimination cases you often end up paying front pay where you don't in others is because we know that older people have a tougher time landing a new job than a younger person might, statistically. And so if somebody's nearing retirement age and they're right at the cusp or something like that, a court will often order you to pay up until their age of retirement but for your illegal discrimination, they might have been working up until that long and they otherwise don't have a shot at getting a subsequent job to kind of mitigate those lost damages. So if you want to get an even more expensive discrimination legal bill, discriminate on the basis of age, so don't do it. Comment interview and I'll send you the link to watch the full video covering all 5 questions that may cost companies over $80,000.